Hello. All right. Wow, Bitcoin 10,000. Ladies and gentlemen. Am I live? I'm not sure. It looks like I'm live. No one watching it, which is odd. Doo-doo. Okay. Not sure if I'm live or not. Trying to go live on this Bitcoin 10,000 debacle. Is anybody with me? Is anybody with me? One person. Got one person watching. On a real crypto, long time coming, extreme stream. I got one person. This is very interesting. Am I not sure if I'm live or not? All right, Head Savvy loves ICX. That's awesome. Okay. I wonder if my streaming is not set up correctly. There we go, 99.50, up 86% ROI on my short. That's awesome. I don't think I'm quite streaming effectively here. Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Am I live streaming yet? Sorry to change computers, having a little bit of technical difficulty. Vlad, first. Hey, buddy. Looks like I'm live. Did that pick it up easily? I'm having... That's some bullshit. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. Hey, Vlad, it's just you and me, buddy. How you doing? I don't know what's going on, but I can't... Apparently, I can't stream to anyone else. And I don't know what's going on. 50 Cent sold the BTC. He could have. He definitely could have. I don't know what the hell's going on. How did I make nothing on a badass trade? Usually on days like this, I would have a much larger audience than 3 people. Maybe I should do... Okay, trying to start this stream. Per second. Yeah, I guess I can't stream anymore. All right, YouTube. A little too innocuous here. No idea what's going on. This is bullshit. I have no idea what's happening. You guys see me? I have 9 people watching Bitcoin melt. This is highly unusual. Usually I'm in the hundreds. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. Jean-Paul Allegre, hello. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting. I usually have in the hundreds of viewers. I have 7 right now, so I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube, my stream, or what. But all right. So why the panic selling? Well, that's exactly it. It's the beginning of some panic selling. So that's pretty much what it is. If you're not familiar with Bitcoin, we have been in a bear market for quite some time. If you're not familiar with my channel, I don't know who you've been following, but this is kind of been expected for a little while here. I actually put out a video a little bit ago before I went live talking about Bitcoin 10,000 is going to be the new ceiling. And before that, I put a video out about Bitcoin 10,000 being kind of a line in the sand. And today we're going below 10,000. I don't believe this is a good time to be buying Bitcoin. This does not necessarily look like bottoming action to me. On the 1-minute chart, let me go to a different chart. Let's do the GDAX, which apparently went down a little bit ago. Okay, not sure why we get that. Oops, let's go to the 5-minute here. All right. Yeah, so look, we have a little bit of bottoming action here in Bitcoin, a little bit down here on the 5-minute chart. And so let's take a look at the big picture. We're looking at this 5-minute chart, talking about buying Bitcoin here. I don't think that's necessarily a great idea. I think any bounce is short-lived at this moment in time. This is a pretty new development. So if you want to buy for the longer term, this really isn't the time to do it. If you go down to the 2-hour chart, yeah, bouncing back at 9,800. 100, but what you need to look at is it bounces and rolls back over. We're looking for overall bottoming action, which we actually haven't seen yet. This is not overall bottoming action. You don't want to look at the, hey, it's bouncing right now. That isn't going to serve you very well. That's actually going to hurt you in the long run. Now, if you're short-term trading and you want to trade a bounce up, that's perfectly fine. But if you're looking to hold longer term, I don't think that we've seen the bottom. I don't think we've seen the bottom. The fact that we're down below 10,000 is not a good thing. And actually, right now we're popping back above 10,000. At least on the GDAX, 10,012, 10,010. But this is more than like, this is like one of the first bounces. This is what's called a dead cat bounce. These bounces typically don't work very well. Okay. This is our first bounce since sub 10,000. We tried a couple of smaller bounces here. None of them really produce anything. We may get something similar right here where everything's just kind of flying around about, not really giving direction. If we don't have significant upside progress, this is not good. Not good at all. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. The Tether news that they're going to be subpoenaing Tether. Let's look into that. Subpoena. I spelled that wrong, but Google will fix it for me. U.S. regulators subpoena exchange and Tether. Scrutinizing the large crypto exchanges. We routinely receive legal process from law enforcement agencies and regulations conducting investigations, Bifix and Twitter said. So our policy not to comment. Okay, that's their comment. So this is just a first visit. It's going to take a long time if you know anything about kind of how these things work. There you go. Bitcoin crosses 10,000 on the sell-off. So look, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you blame for it, the price is what pays your bills. Buying or selling Bitcoin is what's going to make or sell you money. It doesn't necessarily matter the reason why. You can shut the news off all day long and see that Bitcoin has been weak. If you've been paying attention to my channel at all, or even the charts, and you understand what you're doing at all, you can just generally see, this is the 1 hour chart now, that Bitcoin overall has been weak. Just very, very, very weak. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and getting below 10,000 is a bit of a different beast, though. This is a little bit different. 10,000 is a big round number, and big round numbers psychologically are extremely important to people. Even institutional investors, we're all human, and while we understand 10,000 doesn't mean anything more or less than 1050 or 9750, what it basically, it's just a line in the sand. Like I said, it's a line in the sand, and it's going to eventually be our ceiling. 10K is our ceiling. We bounced off 10K right here quite significantly, and right now we're struggling to get back above 10K. So this is the psychology that happens right now around large numbers. 10,000. And you actually saw this quite significantly when we were going up in Bitcoin in the latter half of last year. We'd get 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. There are all these Bitcoin parties around all these big round numbers, and everybody was excited. In the end, they all become less and less significant. Less and less significant. But the big ones, like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, those tend usually to be the ones that are more followed. Those tend to be the ones that are typically obeyed, if you will. All right. And I think just the fact that we tested 10,000 a number of times here, and now we're testing it again, people are going to say, hey, people are going to wake up and come out of work or come out of whatever. They're going to be like, hey, oh crap, Bitcoin's at 9,000. If it goes back above 10,000, I'm selling it. You're going to see that. You're going to see that from people that really don't know anything. You're going to see that more and more. Now, John said something interesting. ETH will have a market cap bigger than Bitcoin soon. I actually have a video that I didn't publish about that. And the only way that that changes things, it's a little interesting because it's not really going to change anything. But what it's going to do is going to show that the cryptocurrency market is is evolving, and so Ethereum is dropping. I would actually probably be buying Ethereum right now, to be quite frank with you. I would buy Ethereum pretty much on any dip. So Ethereum is kind of, well, except for this trend line. I don't like this. I don't like that. So never mind. Never mind. Don't buy Ethereum. Um, Maybe for a bounce play, but I don't know about for long-term hold. I think you start to view Ethereum, and I think you start to view Bitcoin as peers. So in the past, everything traded with Bitcoin. Everything traded with Bitcoin. You're still seeing a little bit of that today, as you can see Ethereum selling off with Bitcoin selling off. But what you don't see if you're not really paying attention is that when Bitcoin topped out on December 17th, and now was down over 50%, we're at 99.65. Ethereum since December 17th is actually up like 30%. Probably now about 30%. About 37%. So Bitcoin has gone down. Ethereum has actually outperformed Bitcoin and has rose despite all of Bitcoin's bearish action that has been exhibiting recently. And while I do believe the bearish action in Bitcoin will continue, we will continue lower. We're going to see lower prints. I just talked about that Bitcoin 6,000, which may or may not happen. But we've seen, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If we get down to Bitcoin 6,000, that's going to be a 70% drop in Bitcoin. That's going to be quite significant, and we would be definitely be in bottomish territory. But like I've said before, if you have or have not seen my Bitcoin my videos about the 2013 correction, there was actually two corrections in 2013, two bear markets. Both of them corrected 83% in Bitcoin, which actually, as you can see on my screen here, takes us right down to $3,500. So that would be what's going on here? That would be a very long-term target for Bitcoin. Probably several more months it would take for it to get down there. Back above 10,000 now. Okay, what's going on here? Crazy. All right. Yeah, so sorry, I closed out. I have a Bitcoin short trade on BitMEX, which I'm kind of confused on because I took a huge chunk out of Bitcoin and up like 0.001. I don't understand how that works. All right, I'll have to play with that later. All right, so yeah, so Ethereum versus Bitcoin, that's going to get more and more interesting as time goes on, because as this market matures, I think a lot of exchanges should actually pair coins with Ethereum versus Bitcoin, because what's going to happen is I think a lot of people are going to be turned off by selling their altcoins into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to be much lower. Bitcoin is going to be lower. So that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people trade cryptos to gain more Bitcoin. That's perfectly fine. No problem with that. But I think if they were to pair it with Ethereum, then I think a lot of people would be more apt to trade in and out of Ethereum, because it's going to be a rising asset versus Bitcoin is going to be a declining asset. You can already see right here, it's talking about Ethereum. It's already run up from the lows, because Bitcoin and Ethereum have nothing to do with each other. And all these lows should be bought. All these lows, I think, should be bought. But keep in mind, when Bitcoin tanks, it's going to do these types of moves in Ethereum. And while I do think they should be bought, keep in mind, they sometimes can take a little bit of time to come back. Now, most of these have V pretty nicely. So here's a bottom here. Here's a nice bottom here in Ethereum. Here's a bottom here in Ethereum. This is a 1 hour. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so here you can kind of see some of the Bitcoin down days, these big red candles here. These are some of the Bitcoin sell-offs, and notice how aggressively they were bought up within Ethereum. because Ethereum and Bitcoin have nothing to do with each other. Keep that in mind, nothing to do with each other. Now, the break of this trend line in Ethereum is cause for concern, so it probably is going to be a little bit lower, but I think longer term Ethereum is going to go ahead and curl up. So, Greg says BTC in 2 hours is 13,000. Pedro says Bitcoin in 24 hours is 40,000. I'm going Pedro. I think Pedro knows what he's talking about. I like that. Good job, Pedro. Good job. Dead cat bounce BTC now. Yes, dead cat bounce. Definitely dead cat bounce. If we go down to the shorter term time frame on the Bitcoin, I mean, you can basically see it stair step down here. You can basically see it stair step down. And so we're going to get a little base. We'll probably stair step lower. At some point, we're going to get a more egregious bounce in Bitcoin, but it's probably going to take us, we're probably going to head lower, maybe test 9,000, then come up and test 10,000, something like that. Those probably aren't the exact levels, but all right. So those aren't the exact levels, but it's going to happen something similar to that. Okay. So Nick Charles says market bottom at 504. It's bouncing back up again. So that's the thing, because it's a bounce, right? If you think of a ball, you're like, oh, the ball's going up. It's going to go up forever. No, it's not. It's going to come back down. This is not a healthy, this isn't bottoming action. This is bouncing. Those are different things. Those are completely different things between a bounce and between bottoming action, okay? They're completely different. And you have to learn to recognize the difference between the two. And depending on the time frame that you trade, a bounce may be all you need. Maybe you just want to trade bounce. That's perfectly fine. There's valid strategies behind trading bounces. And you can make decent money at that. There's also valid strategies around selling the bounces, and there's probably more money in selling the bounces than there are buying the bounces. Now, bottoming action is a completely different animal than just a bounce. So Manta says, come on guys, why you started to believe things so easy like ETH will take over the Bitcoin? So it's not about, Montes, when you say taking over the Bitcoin, okay, you have to understand. So you may be thinking something different than I'm thinking, or something different than like Raymond mentioned Ethereum. So we may be thinking slightly different things, okay? So we may be thinking, okay, just in terms of market cap, okay, which is perfectly viable. The market cap of Bitcoin and the market cap of Ethereum flipping. If we go to, I don't think I have it up here. If you go to coin market cap, okay, don't quite know. Hey, 1,500 currencies exactly. Look at that. If you look at the market cap of Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin's at 170 billion, Ethereum's at 105. The only thing that we're referring to is them switching the number 1 and the number 2 spot. Bitcoin and Ethereum have nothing to do with each other. They don't interact on any level, basically. No, you shouldn't buy now. They don't interact at any level. Okay? They don't interact at any level. So it's literally just the fact that Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin in terms of market capitalization. I actually think that's going to happen this year. Bitcoin is in a bear market. We are heading lower. Okay, in the longer term, we are heading lower in Bitcoin, while Ethereum is in an uptrend. So until one of those situations change, and it has to change before the Bitcoin bear market, exhausts itself, we're probably going to see the actual flipping curve between Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I think that's actually going to be very, very good. I think that's going to be very, very good for the cryptocurrency market. It's going to, in my mind at least, I don't know about other people, so I'm going to take a water break. If when that does happen, I think it's going to show a lot of maturity in the cryptocurrency market, okay? Because a lot of the coins trade in Bitcoin, like all these smaller coins, a vast majority of them trade a majority of their volume in Bitcoin. All right, very few actually trade in Ethereum, And I think, at least I hope, I don't say I think, I have nothing to back this up, but going forward, I think Ethereum is actually, I think they should pair more coins with Ethereum because it's an alternative to selling against Bitcoin. The only downfall to that is it's going to reduce liquidity in the marketplace because if you're trading Bitcoin, whatever, Ethereum, whatever, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult from a liquidity standpoint, I think. But other than that, I think with Bitcoin declining this year, Ethereum more likely rising this year, I think that would probably be a good thing. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments. Arthur says that's unreasonable. Flipping what happens here. I think Ethereum is becoming more available in ICOs and real-world applications. Well, Ethereum is for real-world applications. Bitcoin is not for real-world applications. Bitcoin is just a transactional coin. It's just a transactional process. That's all Bitcoin is. Ethereum is not a transaction. It's a transactional process. You can. It's a smart contract, right? You know what I'm saying? So they're two completely different animals. All right. How long do you think it will go to the bottom? I don't know exactly how far it's going to go. Curious as to what price would you buy Bitcoin? So, ladies and gentlemen, I am. Please touch on the volume. Which volume of what, Lucid? Of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or what do you mean? Or of the Ethereum liquidity issue I was just talking about? Read up. Oh, you want to look at the BTC volume? One hour. All right. Luce is looking at 1 hour. Oh, there you go. Nice big. Yeah, big bottoming volume there on the 1 hour. That's what you're looking at, Luce. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that could be a decent bottoming bar. So anytime you get these really huge spikes, one of two things happens. So let's check this out. Let's go back over here. Oh, the Dow is selling off. Let's look at that. Yeah, I'm okay. So let's take a look at this, Lucid. So we had this nice big sell-off. This was the last big sell-off in Bitcoin. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this just started. So I have this trend line right here. We just broke this a couple hours ago, and now we're seeing increasing volume. So increasing volume doesn't always mean the bottom, because if you look here, the volume increased several times before we actually saw two bottoms over here. Okay, we saw this bottom and we saw this bottom, which was a lower low. So increasing volume doesn't necessarily mean that it's done going down. It just means the volume is increasing, and that's not necessarily a good thing. You have to take volume in conjunction with price action and relay them to one another. And so you have, that's a little bit where the art of chart reading comes into effect. So, and I mean, overall, it's not looking very bullish. I mean, it's just not looking bullish. Vlad thinks ETH is worth maybe 300. Vlad, you're telling me, dude. Ether's developing more use cases. It's possible. Let's check their volume. More tethers being issued to bounce BTC back. Yeah, probably. Dow's down 365. Hasn't happened in a while. I want to take a look at some stocks. I don't know how many people here are quite into stocks. So, yeah, there we go, down a little bit more. Like I said, increasing volume isn't always a good thing. When you're just starting these downturns, increasing volume means more selling is coming up. Am I worried about US dollar tether? You know what? I'm gonna look at that after the video with just one news article coming out. I can't imagine. I think tether's here on CoinMarketCap over at 98 cents. So we're down. Looks like we're down 1% on tether. There's going to be some people selling tether, obviously. And it's interesting how it's not really pushing anything else up. You've got Populous up 40%. There you go. Should have bought that. Why don't you buy that? So Bitcoin rolling over here. If we go down, I'm looking at the 1 minute on another screen. It's just a round over. It's just rounding over time and time again. These patterns, this dead cat bounce, these don't play out, ladies and gentlemen. These bounces off the lows, especially the first bounce. And you really have to understand. You have to understand the market cycle that we're in, okay? And I'm actually doing a webinar on market cycles. You can go to my real-crypto.com to sign up for that if you want to. Got a link at the top there. Where I talk about market cycles and how to view these things, how to stay safe, and how to keep an open mind. Because, how do I explain this? Until you get your ass kicked enough in the markets, you start to realize how little that you know. Not you, but I mean people, like even me when I was an early trader. You have these opinions, you get one or two things right, and then you think that you think that you're good, and you think that all this stuff, and then you start forecasting, and then you start all these habits, and when the market cycle changes, you don't have the experience, you haven't had your ass kicked enough in order to understand that you have to keep an open mind at all times about all things. Your mind has to be a sponge. It can't be a rock, okay? It can't be a rock. It has to be a sponge. You have to soak in all the information, look at the charts, look at different time frames, and figure out what's what, okay? And that's basically how you have to view the markets. Otherwise, in the long term, you're not going to be successful as a trader in this business, okay? And that's part of what I'm talking about in my webinar on market cycles, because I've been talking about a Bitcoin bear market now for well over a month. Actually, I've been talking about a Bitcoin bear market for quite some time. Getting a nice little bounce here. There we go. Nice little. What do we got here? And we're going to sell off probably into that. But so that's what I'm going to be talking about in my webinars, about market cycles overall, how to spot the tops, how to spot the bottom, how to spot healthy action, how to spot not healthy action. There's a lot going on, and if you don't keep an open mind, then it's just going to be brutal for a lot of accounts. All right, so there's been a couple comments here. Back to 9800. I don't know what that means. Sorry about that. It's difference between XRP and ETH market cap flip case. XRP, no. Market did what it always does. What goes up goes down. It could be XRP now and ETH before. What's the difference? I don't quite understand your question. If you're talking about, we're talking about the flipping between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So keep this in mind. If we do get the flipping between Bitcoin and Ethereum, I do believe it will be fairly short-lived. Okay, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be for. It's not a forever flipping. Okay, it's not like the flipping happens and it's set in stone. Okay, that doesn't happen. All right, markets ebb and they flow, they wane, and they, whatever the opposite of wane is, they go up and they go down. So while Bitcoin is in a bear market, Ethereum is in a longer-term bull market. So that will cause the flipping to, in my opinion, occur this year. Now, when Bitcoin is done bottoming, depending on what Ethereum does, look, if Ethereum goes to 5,000 in an overall bull market of Ethereum, if this thing stays good and the Ethereum network's going like gangbusters, say Bitcoin's in a bear market for a year, okay? Now, I mean, it may happen a little longer than a year, but let's say Bitcoin happens within a year, okay? There's a bear market, and then Ethereum's an overall uptrending market. Maybe Ethereum gets up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. At that point, then, if Bitcoin's in a bear market, say 100 billion market cap, and Ethereum's 300 billion market cap, then you're going to have a reverse flipping between Ethereum and Bitcoin. So it's going to happen. I think the flipping is happening this year. I think over the long term, Bitcoin will eventually, become number one again. Bitcoin bounced to 12K. I think is highly unlikely at this stage. Okay, I think it's extremely unlikely that Bitcoin does that. We've broken level after level. If you guys aren't good at reading charts, if you guys just picking prices out of thin air, maybe you bought in at 12,000. Maybe you bought in at 12,000. That's why I'm asking the question. You have to ask yourself, how do I put this? put this? I don't understand. I'm trying to explain technical analysis to some people that don't necessarily understand technical analysis, and that's a very long conversation. When prices go lower, so this is the daily chart of Bitcoin, okay? We topped at 20,000. Okay, the people that bought up here between 18 and 20,000 never got to sell. They never got to sell at break even. Never. Okay? They're going to have to wait a long time for it to get back up here. All right? This is just how price action works, ladies and gentlemen. This is just how price action works. They're going to wait a long time for Bitcoin to get back up here. Now, if you bought back down here somewhere, say about one of these spikes, you had a couple opportunities to get out. But then if you bought up here thinking that the bottom was in here and you bought up here, well, look, you had no opportunity to get out. And what we have here is less and less opportunities to get out of Bitcoin. Because guess what? Everyone's trying to get out of Bitcoin. Okay? For different reasons, at different stages, they're up and they're down, different percentages. But the price action, this price action literally tells you people are trying to leave Bitcoin. There's no other way to read it other than people are trying to leave Bitcoin. Okay? And that's exactly what's happening. And that's exactly what we're seeing, is that everyone's trying to leave Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't mean you don't get bounces in Bitcoin. Okay? It doesn't mean you don't get bounces in Bitcoin. This was a really nice bounce. This was a really nice bounce. And this was a nice little run. But you have to be very quick when trading these bounces, because in a bear market, what's prevalent is the fact that everything is selling off. Things going up is not normal in a bear market. Things going up is not normal in a bear market. Okay? So ACE's technical analysis doesn't always work. So ACE, tell me something that does always work. Because you're right, technical analysis doesn't always work. You know, driving the speed limit on the street doesn't always ensure that you're not going to get into an accident. But guess what? You still drive the speed limit. Or if you're like me, you speed excessively. So, crypto says the market's crazy as hell. The market isn't crazy. This is not a crazy market, okay? Because, how do I explain this? I've been trading for an extraordinarily long time. I've been trading for over 15 years. All right, I've been trading for over 15 years. We see the same things time and time again. All right, we see them time and time again. And the people that don't understand technical analysis, the people that don't understand markets generally, eventually learn the hard way and do one of two things. Okay, they either hold forever and then just view themselves as correct, or they sell at a loss and then give up. Or they say, you know what? I really want to know how this stuff works. I'm going to do some research and I'm going to see for myself what is viable. Okay? So that is where I come from. Okay? I've been intrigued with stocks since I was 17 years old, 16 years old, and I'm 39, 38 today, actually, 39 this year. The market fascinated me, and over a long time of losing a lot of money, I found out that the behavior of the markets is more predictable if you have some kind of a tool. And my tool is technical analysis. Now, you don't really have another tool. All right? Hey, what's up, Paul? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's not my birthday chant. I don't know why I said 39. I'm actually 38. The only tools you have is technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Those are the only two ways you can analyze a market. Now, fundamental analysis can lead you part of the way. It is actually a very important part of trading generally. It is a very important part of trading. Okay? But technical analysis, so let me back up. Fundamental analysis will tell you, hey, you know what? This is a pretty good coin. This coin is legit. Let's go take a look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at Ethereum because this is the perfect example. I'm going to give you the reason, well, not really the reason, but just hear me out. Okay. All right. So when I got involved in crypto right here, kind of out of this base, I bought my first Ethereum. I really wanted to hold and trade Ethereum. Okay. I bought Ethereum. I held it here all the way up to here. Okay. I thought we may form kind of a go sideways here, but we came down, so I ended up selling. All right. I bought back into Ethereum during this consolidation period right here for three reasons. Number one, because the price was just going sideways, indicating lack of selling. Number two, because volume was increasing, showing that there was more support here than there had been typically. And number three, because of my fundamental analysis, you understand that Ethereum is a badass coin. So guess what? All three things line up. And guess what happens? Boom! You get a massive appreciation in price. While nothing is for certain, it's better than nothing. Right? It's better than nothing. So that's my little spiel on tactical analysis. But all right, what we got here? Let's go take a look at some Bitcoin. Looks like we're bouncing here a little bit, but we are still. What are we doing here? All right, looks like we've got a little bit of a double bottom action happening here. All right, for those of you into technical analysis, so we got. Because of Vlad sold ETH at 288. Yeah, that's there you go, Vlad. All right, so we've got a little bit of a double bottom happening here. I don't know how big this. I don't think this rally is going to go very far. To be quite frank with you, I don't think it's going to go quite far. So, Sammy, will my market cycles webinar be recorded and available to those who join? Yeah, the webinar will be recorded. You'll have lifetime access to it. There's a charge for it, $22 for the webinar. It's going to be 1 hour of presentation and 1 hour of Q&A. Basically, trying to cover mostly market cycles. We can go over this market cycle, other market cycles, and it's going to be a great webinar. I got 60, 70 slides, tons of charts in there. I even take you through other asset classes to kind of show you a little bit of how crypto is like and is different from other asset classes, and how it's kind of how the whole thing works. I mean, if you're involved in buying and selling cryptocurrencies, there's no reason you shouldn't be interested in buying and selling stocks. There's no reason you shouldn't be interested in buying and selling other asset classes. Just as my stock market experience led me to cryptocurrency and success in cryptocurrency, your success in cryptocurrency should lead you to ultimately success in other markets. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. So go to real-crypto.com. Right in my header is a link to a webinar. Go ahead and sign up for that. That's going to be on Thursday. BitConnect. What about BitConnect? Aren't they dead? Didn't they go away? Are they gone yet? I think they are gone yet. I do not trade penny stocks. No, I actually trade very fundamentally sound stocks that break out into all-time highs is preferably, and I trade the shit out of them. I do really good. People see stocks as far less ethical than crypto. Very interesting statement. People see stocks as far less ethical than crypto. Ethical. There's an interesting word, ethical. Ethical. Okay. I'm an artist. I don't know much about all this stuff, but I made my investment back. Now I have 1,500 altcoins. Good for you, Bruce. Good for you. We are very, very lucky to be involved in cryptocurrencies. Let me tell you why. Crypto is a market, and here we're getting spike volume to the downside now. If you look at the 1 minute chart especially. During these market what just happened there? The volume just disappeared. Most everything in cryptocurrency has gone up. You could almost buy and hold, and a lot of things will go up. But one day that's going to change, and I think that's going to happen in the next year and a half, to be quite frank with you. Eventually, crypto will become more like a normalized market where people look for good things to buy and good things to sell, instead of just buying and selling whatever tickles their fancy and being successful. So you will have to learn how to trade eventually. How low do I think Bitcoin will go? Bruce asks. So number one, keep in mind my thoughts and opinions mean nothing. Okay, they literally mean nothing. And even to me, my thoughts and my opinions mean nothing. The market the market gives me my opinion. The market gives me my thoughts. I try not to have thoughts and opinions, to be quite honest with you. But at the same time, um, you do have to understand what's happening and do have to have a bias to the upside or the downside of what the market's going to do. In my last video, I talked about the measured move down in Bitcoin takes us down to 6,000. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, but the measured move takes us down to 6,000. If you look at the 2013 market, if you look at here we go. I'm gonna okay. This is partially what I talk about in my market cycles webinar. Okay, it's kind of how to identify these tops. If you look at the last top in Bitcoin, this was the last top in 2013. This is and this top over here, actually two tops in 2013. There's this top which caused the bear market, and this top which caused the bear market. Okay, if you look at 2013, both of these actually drew down 83% of their ultimate low. Okay, both of these drew down 83%. Both of them. Now we could get something very similar to that in Bitcoin. We could get an 83% drawdown. Again, I keep saying could, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't me trying to persuade you. I'm just giving you possibilities. There's a possibility that we go down 83%, which takes us down to $3,500 in Bitcoin. Okay? So there's a possible scenario. Now, what I do and what I teach people to do is I teach you to look at the charts, to understand price action, to understand volume action, to understand the buying and selling. Okay? That's what I do. That's what I do. Okay? So when you do those things, when you start to understand how buying and selling works, and how to read the charts effectively, you don't have to sit there and wonder where the price is going to, what the price is going to do. You're basically, like I said earlier, you're an open book, you're a sponge. You're sitting there letting the market give you information and tell you what to do instead of you guessing what to do. No one ever made money reading charts. Wow, Jake, that is a... Here, let me do this. This guy, for those of you that think that chart reading is garbage, this guy, Dan Zanger, is one of the best chart readers on the planet. Okay? On the planet. He's audited taking $16,000, making $46 million off of it just by reading charts. Okay? Just by reading charts. So, don't take my word for it. I don't have $46 million. This guy's got $46 million. This guy is exceptional at trading, chartpattern.com. And if you don't believe in technical analysis, then, like I said earlier, I want to know what you believe in, because I'll take a look at it, and if it works, then there you go. Then I'll probably adopt some of that in my strategy. So, but simply saying that no one ever made money reading charts is a false statement. Okay, you can't say no one ever did anything. All right. When should we buy Bitcoin? So you should buy Bitcoin after Bitcoin is done going down. That's when you should buy Bitcoin. Okay, you should buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin is not doing this. You should buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin is kind of forming bottoming action. And I talk about that during the webinar. I'm going to talk about all that during the webinar: how to spot the bottoms, how to make sure that you're in a good bottom. How to make sure, because let's take a look here. Right, we've got very good bottoming action here, but this isn't the bottom. We've got very good bottom action here, but this isn't the bottom. So what is the bottom? How do you know what the bottoming action is? How do you know what good bottoming action is, what bad bottoming action is? I talk about all that in the webinar. It's going to be good. I can't wait. You guys are going to have great questions I probably wouldn't even have thought of. So, talking about Bitcoin going down, I want to talk about something else as well. The biggest thing that informs your trading should be your time frame that you're trading, what you're trading. What I mean by that is this. So some guys in the chat room are saying here, HODL. So he's saying HODL. Some guys are saying HODL. HODLing is a strategy. It's a very viable strategy. Okay? Because if you believe Bitcoin is going up in the much longer term, HODLing is a great strategy. Okay? But at the same time, people like myself, it's not in my personality to hold in perpetuity. It's not. It is not in my. It's not in my personality. I can't do that. In the same way that other people here can't do that. Okay, so this is what happens. If you're there's people that are fake hodlers out there. Okay, there are people that are fake hodlers. The people that say hodl. Not everyone. Okay, I don't believe in putting everyone into a basket. But there are some people that say they're hodlers, but in the back of their mind, they believe. They have a belief that Bitcoin won't go below 10,000. Bitcoin won't go below 8,000. Bitcoin won't go below 5,000. Okay? It's a belief. All right? It's a belief. And beliefs, Bitcoin, this market doesn't care anything about what you believe. Okay? So if you believe Bitcoin's not going lower than 8,000 and you say you're a hodler, and you say you're a hodler, and it goes to 7,000, are you still a hodler? You have to ask yourself that. And this is an extremely important point that you need to ask you. I cannot help you with this. I can't click the buy and sell button for you. I can't make buy and sell decisions for you. You have to do this within yourself. You have to say, look, if Bitcoin goes below 9,000, I'm done. I'm out. Say you bought it at 15,000. Say you bought it at 15,000. You're down 33% at 10,000. Okay, is that enough for you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Will you be okay if it gets to 7,500 and you're down 50%? If you're fine with that, then total. If it does go down, now, if it does go down to 3,500, I think if it does get to 35, I think that's the ultimate low. I mean, I think that would be the ultimate low if it does get there. But you have to ask yourself these questions, okay? I can't answer them for you. DataDash can't answer them for you. All the other YouTubers can't answer you anything. You're sitting there with the buy and sell button. You're the person that has to make these decisions. And you have to understand yourself. You have to understand yourself. And that is the hardest part to trading. It's not the charts. It's not the charts. It's just it's you. It's me. That's the hardest part to trading. The charts are here. Every day they're going to do something, and you're here watching them, and then you have to make a decision on what to do. So, all right. Randbottom says, I believe you are shorting Bitcoin and spreading FUD. I do have a short position in Bitcoin right now. Yeah, because guess what? It's going down. So, you believe I'm spreading FUD. Very interesting. I didn't FUD the 20,000 top. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I'm not individually causing I didn't personally cause this. All right. So someone says, what do you ultimately think the high is? That's a very interesting question. I think ultimately, I haven't done that exact analysis, but I think we're ultimately going to get somewhere between 50 and 150,000. Somewhere between 50 and 150,000. But I think that's going to be several years from now. I think that's going to be several years from now. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. All right, 99.14. Double bottom here. Got it a little bit lower. Which TA tools to learn first, Nicholas asks. We really need to understand price and volume. This is the fundamentals to technical analysis. Everything else is a secondary indicator. So everything else is a secondary indicator. And so 1985 here says, I can hold for several years. There's your strategy. Done. I'm not mad at that, guys. Hey, I'm not here to convince you that I'm right. That's not my job here. I'm not here to convince you that I'm right. I trade my account, you guys trade your account, okay? I trade my account, you guys trade your account. We all have different strategies. I can educate you guys. I can educate you guys on how to view things and how to kind of have best practices. But everyone views the market from different perspectives. In the same way that, text messaging is a horrible way to break up with someone. Or tell a sarcastic joke, because sarcasm never goes over text. Let me just tell you that. In the same way that two people can view that message differently, two people can view the exact same market completely differently. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. The markets are what the markets are. The biggest thing you can do as a trader is understand yourself. The biggest thing you can do is understand your time frame, your risk tolerance. Okay, your risk tolerance. So that's really what you have to understand, is what you're willing to risk. All right, Jake says, stock on Alto's crypto, high fees, and tax. How can you compare the two? You can definitely compare the two. The reason being is because they're both traded by people. It's quite simple, to be quite frank with you. They're both markets. You buy and you sell them. They are different. They do have differences. Okay, but they're definitely comparable, especially from a high level perspective. Okay, like if you view it from a psychological perspective, you have millions of people trading these markets. They're going to behave in approximately the same fashion. They're going to behave in approximately the same fashion, and in that way, you definitely can look at the market and kind of ascertain: are we in a bullish market? Are we in a bearish market? At the same time, they are different. They do trade very differently. There are major differences. Okay, there are major differences. Now, there's no institutional support in most of cryptocurrency. That is a huge difference. Huge difference. Okay, the chart patterns, while they rhyme, aren't always exactly the same. The signals don't work in necessarily the same proportions. But overall, there's still people trading markets, and the psychology behind everything is still the same. So, still the same. All right, let's see here. Did you say any buy orders right now with buy after certain prices reached? No, I'm short Bitcoin right now. I've actually been short Bitcoin since 10,800 right here. Let's go to, and I've traded in and out of that position. I'm trading on BitMEX using margin for the first time, which is kind of weird. Actually, if you're interested, yeah, you can trade BitMEX margin. I don't recommend you guys do that if you don't know how to trade. Don't recommend that for you guys. I'd rather, yeah. So let's go here to the 5-minute chart. Yeah. So yeah. So I've been short Bitcoin. I missed the big drop, but I'm short since right here. I'm short since right on the break of this little trend line right here. Short right there. Right there, literally right there. So I am short Bitcoin. I don't have any buy orders. I believe Bitcoin is headed lower longer term, so I do not have any buy orders set for Bitcoin. With your chart, is something wrong? I don't know what that means. There's like a 20-second lag in the thing. XRP will be taken over by XLM? Probably. I think XLM is going to be huge. Do you think it will take for Bitcoin to rally back up, news hype, and investors coming in other platforms like Robinhood? So Bitcoin will bottom, Bitcoin bottoms. You can't look for one signal. It will bottom when it bottoms. It will tell you when it bottoms if you know how to understand the charts. It will tell you when it bottoms. You don't have to guess. That's all I'm going to say about that. But really, what it's going to take is all the sellers to sell. That's what it's going to take. And then new buyers to step in. That's what it's going to take. Okay, answer this. Bitcoin will fall. The altcoin like XRP will also fall since they're based on BTC. Yeah, they basically will. They basically will fall. They basically will go lower. So some will rise in proportion to Bitcoin, but I think the overall pressure of Bitcoin does take a lot of the altcoins down. I think Ethereum will be different and will actually, it is in a bull market cycle right now. Ethereum is. I think it will continue once Bitcoin stops selling off. Thoughts on car vertical crypto with real project fronts? No idea. Price now can't read. Could you put your screen upside down and become colorblind? Everything's suddenly fine. I do that all the time. Your opinion? What's your opinion? The best resource to learn technical analysis with no experience. I didn't learn from one resource. I actually learned from several resources. If you go to my website, real-crypto.com, and click on resources, I have books up there that I've learned a lot of my technical analysis from. You can go on there, How to Make Money in Stocks with William Neal, and the Encyclopedia Chart Patterns, two extraordinarily good resources to learn. I'm also working on my courses to teach technical analysis, but it's a massive course, guys. It's a long ways out. Thoughts on critical experience. Thoughts of Icon. I think Icon's a really good coin. I think it's a good coin. Where to set buy orders on Ethereum? I don't know. So here's the thing with Ethereum. I think you should view Ethereum separately from Bitcoin, but it did just cross this rising trend line, so it is going to go to a corrective mode right now. Do I have a Telegram group by chance? No, I don't right now, Peter. I do have a Slack channel, but I'm working on a community-based platform out of my site, Real-Crypto, where we can actually do some really cool stuff out of that. Okay, will EOS stop with Bitcoin or will it rise? I'm not sure on EOS. Let's take a look at EOS. So it looks like it's falling right now. The volume is very low, however, you could probably buy EOS on some bounces, but I have noticed lately when Bitcoin does these big sell-offs that a lot of the wind gets taken out of these coins that have been flying high. So just be careful for that. Just be careful for that. Should I buy 8K and hold till 2019? Crypto Chow, you know, if that's a strategy you want to do, that's fine. I got no problems with that. You can do that. You know, I don't see a huge problem with that. But again, like I said earlier, you have to ask yourself at what point are you going to sell. You have to know when you're going to get out. Period. And Bitcoin rallying right now on my other screen here. Let's check that out. Stuck with EOS. That GDAX Bitcoin. At least on BitMEX it's rallying. Get some good green volume on BitMEX here. On GDAX not so much. BitMEX has some pretty good green volume there. Can you see the bottom? There's a nice little triple bottom right here, which may cause us to go higher in the intermediate term. Triple bottoms are fairly rare, but we'll see if it doesn't play out as a bear flag. We'll have to wait and see on that. But as you can see, the volume coming into Bitcoin here is a little bit low on this upside. So I don't know how. I wouldn't be super happy with this. Yes, they all will. Tribune, the market cap will cross 1 trillion. It'll happen. It's going to be a while though. I don't see the market doubling from here at this point in time. We're in a bear market. What happened? Am I losing all my clients? .com will exactly the same pattern. However, I'm bullish long term and will be buying more soon. So, Sheik, if you think it looks like the .com bubble, exactly the same pattern, why would you be buying soon? Interesting. I sold at 19K. What did Ash ask? Where did you sell your Bitcoin? Yeah, I had to sell it. I sold at 19,000 after the 20,000 top. I had to sell at $19,050. I did trade cent end though. I did trade some bounces and some stuff. So, as in what exchange? I was in GDAX. I usually trade the GDAX for my Bitcoin. I bought it at 11.5. Where should I place my sell order? Reagan asks. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I don't think we get much higher than 10,000. I think if we rally above 10,000, psychologically, a lot of those are going to be sold into. So that's going to be very, very difficult for you to get back up to 11.5 at this point in time. Now, it's so hard to say, guys. There's no crystal ball to this trading stuff. You really have to make decisions in real time. It's just so hard. I had an alert set at 11,785 here. It's never been touched since I set it. It's just really, really weak. As you can see, all of these highs are just lower highs. Okay, so we may get, maybe we get another bounce or something like. I'm trying to find a good trend line. There's not really a good trend line here. I guess that's kind of a good trend line. Maybe wait for a bounce up to this trend line, but it may or may not happen. It may or may not happen. Jake says profit since the beginning of my journey. To be honest with you, not as much as I'd like. I'm up about 200% in my crypto. I should be up a lot more, to be quite frank with you, but this crazy bull market, I missed the majority from 11,000 to 20,000, and yeah, I missed that. I didn't think we were going to go past 11.5 here, and then as we did, I bought back in at like 15,000, and then sold at 19,000 over here, and then I've traded a couple of bounces over here. But learning the crypto market versus the stock market, there's definitely a learning curve there. There's definitely a learning curve, and with it being a 24/7 market, it's just very brutal. But I'm up about 200%, but it's not enough. My stock, however, I'm up about 500% in the past year or so. Thoughts on shorting here? Yeah, shorting here. So shorting here is going to be interesting because let's go to the 5-minute. Shorting is going to be a little interesting. You want to short when it's higher. You don't want to short when it's lower. Okay. So the only difference, the only caveat to that rule is breaking trend lines like this, right? Like when you're going to break these trend lines. So here's the trend line. You want to break on the break of this trend line or towards the top of this trend. Okay, that's what I think about shorting here. So, how's your flu? I'm doing pretty good, Strata. Yeah, I'm better, buddy. I'm better. Yeah, Slack channel. We'll talk about that in the webinar a little bit. Thoughts about Tron button at 7 cents. So last time I looked at Tron, it was in a holding pattern, and I think it's going to be in that holding. Oops, TRX. I think it's going to remain in that holding pattern for quite some time. And it's actually probably tanked based off of what's going on here recently. Yeah, it's gone lower. So I don't know where 7 cents is in relation to this chart, but Tron looks like it's going to be heading lower. These chart patterns are looking eerily similar to like we were trading back in October of last year. So I would kind of look at that and kind of see the kind of market we're in. But I think this with Bitcoin being an overall bearish market, I think it's going to be worse in October, to be quite frank with you. Is the stock market easier for me? For me, the stock market's easier. I've been trading the market for 15 years. I'm very into the stock market. I'm very in tune with it, how it cycles and how it gyrates and moves in the indexes. There's a lot more indicators with stocks than there was with cryptos. So I'm very in tune with the stock market. Crypto is a whole different ballgame. Is trading automation bots something we're looking at as a developer? What's your opinion? Yeah, no, I do think trading in bots could be very good. There's a lot that goes into a trading bot, Victor. If actually that's something you're interested in doing, I'm looking for a programming partner. So hit me up, and so hit me up, and let's if you want to do something, we can chat. Webinar will yes, it will replay. So if you do purchase the webinar, you will have lifetime access to the webinar. Litecoin. So Litecoin, I'm not a big fan of Litecoin these days. It's pretty weak. I do see Bitcoin's rallying. I'm noticing on rallying a little bit here. Yeah, look at the 4-hour chart. Doesn't look much of a rally. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so this is probably other bounds. Again, we have trend lines to contend with. So, but yeah, no, I think Litecoin. I think Ethereum over Litecoin all day long at this point in time. Thoughts on Dragon Coin, Aeon. I don't have any specific thoughts on those two coins. I don't know a lot about them. I'd have to just look at the chart. So since we're gonna do that, let's look at Dragon Coin here. DRGN is not showing up. I'll get you Aeon though. I know that's in here somewhere. Take a look at Aeon. 4-hour chart here of Aeon. So not very healthy action. We're headed lower here. So really kind of pining at these lows. Stay away from coins at a point lower. That's my general point of view. My time frame, just so you know, is intermediate term, maybe several weeks or so. That's my time frame. So XRP. Take a look at XRP versus Bitcoin. Yeah, so XRP, after the huge run, we've come down quite significantly from this. We're down about 50%. I think this is going to go sideways for a while. I think it's just going to go sideways for a while. We're not going to. I don't think you're going to see huge gyrations in one direction or another in XRP. Since you trade stocks, what sector, in your opinion, will outperform in 2018? It's a long year. You got 11 months left in the year. I don't have a specific sector that I trade. I trade pretty much all leading sectors. Bitcoin's getting a bit of a bid here. Let's go back and check that out. All right, we'll go down to the 5-minute chart, so you guys can watch that and feel good about yourselves. All right, yeah, breaking out of this pattern here, making sure my shorts are closed. They are. Yeah, so Bitcoin breaking up here, going to run some resistance here, and definitely some here up at 10,400. So interesting there. Yeah, I don't necessarily trade sectors. I trade stocks that have great fundamentals and are behaving technically excellent. So I don't really have a sector that I'm looking at, to be quite frank with you. Can you make videos on stock buying opportunities? I've actually been thinking about doing a Real Dash Stocks channel, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. So I may do that, Real Dash Stocks. I'll probably put a promo video for that if I decide to do that. So look for that. Where do I find a link to your Slack channel? It's not publicly available right now. It's kind of a closed group right now. We'll be reopening some kind of a Slack channel here in the near future. In your opinion, can Bitcoin hit 14,000? That's a long ways away, buddy. That's a long ways away. That doesn't appear to be in the charts. I mean, a year, 6 months plus. It's a long time. Tomorrow, will all these coins be back up? I don't know. I can't give you the answer to that. All I know is Bitcoin right now, if it settles down around here, let's take a look here. If Bitcoin settles down, you're going to have a lot of altcoins come back. You want to pay attention to the altcoins that are strong, that are going down the least. So if I want to go down to coin market cap, 1,500 cryptocurrencies, I want to see the ones that are down the least. So one down the least in the past 24 hours, you got Litecoin down 9%, Ethereum down 10%, but up on the weekly. Got Populous only down. Populous doing really good here. So I want to look at these coins, at these turning points, right? You want to look at these coins at these turning points that are doing good. Because if this is a short-term bottom in Bitcoin, that we definitely could bounce up, and you're going to take some altcoins, you're going to have some good rallies. Okay. ICO regulations and really about Ethereum and other platform coins. I don't think so, Crypto Clinger. I think ICO regulations will overall be a good thing because the investors will have a little bit more safety. So I don't think that's going to be such a bad thing. Chart of DNA token. I'm not sure about DNA. Don't think I've ever seen it before. Not too bad. Not too bad. Kind of stair-stepping higher a little bit here towards the lows. Could go a little lower. Nothing super bullish about the chart, however. Overall, it's decent. It's decent. Opinion on Golem long term. Ooh, I haven't looked at Golem in a while. I believe it's GNT. Correct me if I'm wrong here. So this is just overall weak action. I do not involve myself in weak action anything. So I would avoid Golem here. Yeah, I would still avoid Golem here. Maybe if it sees some a lot more volume coming in, but let's look at the daily. I think it's maybe Poloniex. Maybe it has some. Oh, Litecoin, you caused the crash there, buddy. Bitcoin donations. If you're gonna donate, I got my address down below too. If you want to give away some Bitcoin. All right. Let's take a look at BTC. All right, 10,100. The bottom's in. Woohoo! I'm just kidding. Everybody wants it to be like that. Everyone wants it to be the bottom's in. Go, children, run free. The world's your oyster. Unfortunately, it's not that way. That's not how these markets work. Not yet. You get one day like that. One day. And it's not today. I also mentioned IOTA. Let's look at IOTA. I like IOTA. IOTA in a long-term holding pattern here. That's all I can say about that. Big long-term holding pattern. Big long-term holding pattern. One day it's going to pop up huge and run up huge and make hundreds of percent for everyone. But not today, everybody. Not today. It's in a holding pattern. Volume's going to get. Volume's already getting pretty weak, actually, which is good. You want low volume. Let's go to the 6-hour chart here. We want lower volume, but it's holding up into the highs in this upper base area, which is really good. So, very, very good. Can you go on my Slack channel? Sorry, Chris, we're closed right now on the Slack channel. TRX is a good coin. VChain, TRX, lots of ADA. This market is not stopping going down. We are in a bear market, Retro Zombie Gaming. We are in a bear market. If you want to get educated on bear market, check BitConnect. How do I check BitConnect? I don't think we're even on here anymore. That's Binance. Let's see, they're all showing Bitcoin Cash. Oh, I have to go up here, aren't I? What about BitConnect? Is it down to 0 now? I'm not sure what I'm looking for here on BitConnect, guys. Just the fact we're at 0, that they're down 20%. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Jonathan, is a great question. If you were not an active trader, what percentage of your portfolio would you invest in big cap coins versus more speculative lower cap coins? That's a very, very good question. That's a very good question. So, what I would do if you're not a trader, so it just depends how you want to play it. I think if you invest in the top 10 coins, okay, and as new coins come into the top 10, you rotate or add new cash to that coin or whatever. I think if you play with the top 10 coins and invest in the top 10 coins, you're going to do very good. Now, picking into these other 1,490 coins, which one's going to go to the moon, can be extremely difficult. I've got a video out there called Best Altcoins for 2018, 2019, and it all talks about the platform coins. Okay, it all talks about the platform coins. So I think you should invest in a very good lower cap platform coin, maybe something like Arcane. I'm not sure quite down here. I know Ark's really been weak though. They're not really a leader, but you want to find a new platform coin that has good stuff about it and has good technicals. That's what I would do. Okay. People recommend to invest in multiple crypto coins in order not to lose in case one coin goes down. But if most coins are based on Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes down, we're doomed to sink. How to overcome? So in a bear market, everything goes down. Okay, in a bear market, everything goes down. Now, Bitcoin is in a bear market. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything else is in a bear market. You are going to have some coins that are going up, but you are correct. Overall, you will go down. Your way to not that would be to step aside and go cash. That would be your way to step aside. That would be the thing to do, is to step aside and go cash. Thoughts on BitConnect? I'm not sure if X is real or not, but I've never been a fan of BitConnect. I put out a video on BitConnect and got more hate than I've ever gotten in my life. And then like 2 weeks later, oh yeah, BitConnect crashed. No one can do anything on BitConnect anymore. How do you find a girlfriend? You become a better person and start talking to girls. When will your short position get liquidated so we can watch it live? I already liquidated my short position. Yeah, I've traded a couple of times actually since I started this webinar on my other screen here. So, but right now I'm in cash. Actually, I do have a position. It is. Ooh, PPT's going up. Whatever that's doing. What is my position right now? ICX. I've got ICX right now. That's my only open position right now is ICX. And it's not a big position. I'm just playing. Thoughts on Rayblox? I think Rayblox is a pretty good project. Is it RAI? XRP. I've actually traded Rayblox. Huh. What, I don't know. I don't know why XRP is not pulling up here for me. Anyway, I'll just do it here, I guess. So I think overall XRP is I mean, look, you can't argue with that run up from nothing to $32. I mean, you literally can't argue with that. I think it's a pretty good project. I think technically it's basing, so you gotta wait till it bases. So, in niche tools and Coinigy that you know about, you're paying them $20 a month just for ARB matrix. The reason why I pay Coinigy is because I do like the fact that I can get a bunch of coins over here and I like their alerts. That's really the main reason that I use Coinigy. And I like their charts better than trading, to be quite frank with you. I can have multiple tabs open. Like I can open first in a new tab if I wanted to. So, you know, I do like the fact that I can have multiple tabs. You know, check my balances all in one place. So I don't use it. Probably the best is capability. They did have a, yeah, I've been waiting for the chart scanner to come up, but that's, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'd like to make my own chart scanner. Opinion on the Tron chart. Yeah, so Tron is a longer term basing pattern, but it's actually pointing lower. It's not very healthy action right now. I'm not a big fan of Tron here. It's pointing lower. So we're getting back towards this breakout point at the 431 level. Definitely could get down there. Thoughts on Robinhood Crypto Exchange coming? No fees. Yeah, Robinhood's awesome, man. They don't have any fees. I would not be mad at Robinhood for anything. Robinhood's pretty dope. All right, Litecoin analysis. Ooh, maybe I want to put my short back on right here. Do I want to put my short back on right here? Where did I short it initially? It's almost up to my initial short point. Ooh, this would be a nice place to re-enter my short. Interesting. All right, re-entered my short. Okay. Thoughts on Neo price action? Thoughts on Neo price action? So I like Neo. Neo is good tech. Neo's really good. I wouldn't be mad picking up some Neo here if you wanted to buy it for longer term there. Yeah, it's going to be one of the viable platform coins going forward. You know, we have a few on CoinMarketCap. Neil's going to be one of them. Okay. Robinhood is a scam because it will superpad the cost of each coin. My experience is Robinhood is actually a pretty decent company, so I don't know if I'm that. We are not in a bear market. Okay. Please update Bitcoin correction is over. No, we're in a bear market. We are in a bear market. It's not over. It's not over. Checking new to this, so you're just watching. Thanks for watching, Robert. As of right now, where do you think the bottom is? Well, we haven't seen the bottom in Bitcoin yet. We have yet to see major capitulation volume in Bitcoin, and therefore we will continue lower. If you don't know what capitulation volume is, shameless plug from a webinar I'm holding on Thursday. Go to real-crypto.com. I'm doing a webinar on market cycles. I don't have the best promotional material up. I'm kind of rushing it out there, but it's going to be awesome nonetheless. I've been working on the slides for 2 weeks. Can I fight you in real life? Sure. Let's do it. Update BTC correction over. No, BTC correction not over. I know it's not over because I just shorted it again. And maybe I'll cover my short. We'll see. Whoops, that one. Oh no, how that happened there. You do these videos when the market swings up. Is doom and gloom just your thing? Or is doom and gloom just your thing? No, it's not my thing at all. I did videos when the market was in an upswing, but the market's now in a downswing. So I do videos. I try to do videos during market inflection points, upside or downside. You can't get mad at me for making videos when the market goes down because the market goes down. I did videos when we went over 5,000. Okay, I've got live videos all the way up here. So you can't get mad at me for doing live videos all the way down here. It's not my fault the market's crashing. You can blame me for that? No. I do videos on what the market's doing, and the market's going down. I've got very similar comments. Are you doom and gloom when the market was at 16,000? I was calling this a top. I got similar comments all the way everywhere. So where do you put your capital during crash? USDT can crash too. I do have some Tether right now. I'm thinking about moving it over actually to GDAX or can be real USD. All right, guys, having fun with some fun comments. We're not going to do porn star DNA comments. If you guys want to have some fun, that's fine, but I will ban you if you do stuff like that. Okay. So Robert, are you shorting this? Looking for a new trading platform only on Binance right now? So I'm on BitMEX. I'm on BitMEX right now shorting. If you go down in the description of the video, I believe I have a link to BitMEX, and it is an affiliate link, but we both actually benefit from that. So if you want to support the channel, I would appreciate that. And that's why I'm doing my shorting right now. Double check if that link is in there because I don't know if I did put it in there. No, I didn't put it in there. Yeah. All right, I'll put that link in there in a second. It should pop up. Okay. All right, what's Bitcoin doing here? 10.8. Looks like we may be going a little higher. I'm not sure if I like this action or not here. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, to get a BitMEX account, you do need to have a VPN to set up a BitMEX account. You can't do it if you're in the United States, but you can actually, there's a VPN Chrome extension, or you can use the Tor browser. I use the Tor browser to set up. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna There we go. Just updating my description. Yeah, link to the website, real-crypto.com, where you can find information about my upcoming webinar on overall market cycles and how to identify tops and bottoms and choppy markets, and all kind of good information going to happen in that webinar. I trade 10 years and see me price will soon reach 7K, then we'll raise it to 32K. Hans Durgan, I want to give a time frame for that prediction, because time frame, if you've been in CME 10 years, you should know time frame is extraordinarily valuable when telling people things. Will the whole market trend down with Bitcoin? Well, you've already seen the answer to that, Jacob. You've seen very few things actually rallying because everyone's really scared of this market right now. So it's actually, I think we're just going to see sideways action in a lot of coins. Very few things are going to go into all-time highs. As you can see in the past week or two, really nothing's doubled. Like, there's been very few coins that have doubled. Nick asked how long I've been trading for. I've been actively trading for about 15 years, and trading cryptocurrencies now for about 6 months. I did trade Bitcoin in 2013, made 300% off that parabolic run, but unfortunately, I really didn't look at it until a buddy of mine told me that they were in crypto. I'm like, okay, let me double check crypto, and then I'm like, oh crap, I missed a huge run. So I am a dipshit. Thank you. Traded 5 months and internet price will go. Oh, Vlad. I'm also going to ask you for your time frame there, buddy. He traded for 5 months on the internet. His price will go to 10, 12, then 10, 122. So I'm also going to be asking you for some time frame, everybody. What are new buy orders for Bitcoin? 6K, 7K. Chris, everyone trades differently. I don't like to tell people where to place buy orders because their sales will probably be horrible. So this is the final stage of the correction. Technical analysis shows that the next expected move will be back up. I would expect to see 12,000 levels within a week or less. Crypto Trump, very bullish. Very bullish. I'm not sure what brand of technical analysis that you're subscribing to. I don't see that in the cards, however. You still have yet to see capitulation volume in Bitcoin. 4 months flat. There you go. I don't have a limit order set right now, Chris. Chris is asking if I have a limit order set at 8, 7, or 6K. Don't have them set. No limit order set. I think the charts are. I think the market's going lower. That's what the charts say. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. And there we go. In 6 months, think of how many new coins will be out. Bitcoin is a lot of competition now. This is the last part. Yes, this is the last part of the correction. So expected to trend lower, and then by the weekend it will rise. By the weekend it will rise. Interesting. All right, February is coming. The correction will end soon. February is coming. You are correct. That is a very valid statement. February is coming. How can you judge this market against others when it is so different? Very good question, Zach. That's a very good question. So, every market's different, right? So, you've got stocks. So, let's go to one of my favorite sites of all time, FinBiz. FinBiz is a fantastic site. It doesn't do crypto yet, maybe one of these days, but you can go to the futures market. You can trade indices. You can trade stocks here. You can trade euro, the DAX. You can trade energy, crude, gas, and heating oil, natural gas, ethanol. You can trade bonds. You can trade cocoa, cotton, orange juice, coffee, lumber, gold, silver, platinum. Well, guess what? Just add crypto to the list. It's no different. Crypto is an asset like any other of these assets. It's going to trade the same. You have humans participating in the market. The fundamentals drive gold just as much as they drive crypto. The fundamentals drive the Dow just as much as they drive crypto. Sometimes they drive them drastically, and sometimes they don't drive them at all. So, how can I say that they're? How can I say that? I completely forgot the question. I like the way he worded that. How can I say it's? I really like that question. How can you judge this market against others? There you go. So you can judge the market because it's humans trading the market. You see, Zach? This is the difference. It's people trading, and why there's no difference. There's people trading the market with money. And in the end, this is what it comes down to. This is traded by people with money. 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 Now, the fundamentals overall will drive markets up or down. Will drive markets up or down. Okay? But what happens in between those overall market cycles is determined by people trading with money. So, and I think this is the same guys that say crypto seems more heavily manipulated than other markets. I see this word out there a lot, manipulation, and I have a very strong feeling about this. Okay, every market, people try to manipulate every market. Okay, so there's a story about see if I can find it here. There's a story about some Goldman Sachs traders literally like buying up just tons of, I forget what commodity it was, like something. They're trying to buy. Oh, thank you for the $10 we're up. I really appreciate that. Party's over. Everyone is still in the casino chasing 100x, and the local barber is asking about Bitcoin. It's a wrap. People, game over. It's a long time, much like 2014. Sorry, but it's done. I've been talking about that exact same thing for us. So thank you very much for the super chat tip. I really do appreciate it, and I kind of that's what the point I'm trying to get across. But yeah, so there's a story about a Bitcoin trader. A Goldman Sachs trader actually like hoarding some specific asset, like physically got it shipped to a barn somewhere. They were trying to what's called corner the market, where you own all of the supply of this thing, and the price is going to rise precipitously, and you're going to sell it at a huge profit. That's generally Hunt Brothers in the silver market. So Dan knows a little bit about this. Those sometimes work out good, sometimes don't work out good. But the one good thing about understanding the charts is that you understand accumulation and distribution. It doesn't matter what they try to do. If you're paying attention, you're going to see it in the chart. You're going to see it right here. I don't care who tries to manipulate what. I don't care. I don't care what it is. You can see it in the charts. You can see it in the volume. Okay, you can see when money's coming in. You can see when money's going out, and that is what all markets. That's how you can judge all markets against other markets, is because of the price and the volume action, the market cycles, human psychology, and I talk about all that in the webinar. The psychology of the herd mentality of groups of people running into an asset class, and then when it falls apart and how bottoms occur. I mean, there you go. Safest crypto asset to survive the coming crash, and Tether's not a valid option anymore. I would think fiat currency would really be your best, to be quite frank with you. What do you think tax season will have an effect on the crypto market? I do not think it will have an effect on the crypto market. What about crypto being mostly retail traders effects? So the fact that crypto is mostly retail traders accounts for the fact that we don't see a lot of the one thing that's missing from all these charts is a lot of the institutional volume, and it's minutia in the chart reading, but you're missing a lot of support. You're missing a lot of support, so the gyrations are much wilder, and certain areas get chopped out much sooner. Like typically with a well-behaved stock, certain levels will be supported with billions of dollars. You don't have that in cryptos, so sometimes a level can get really. Let's just use this as an example. So the like say this is your support level here at this 10.785, 11.785. It'll whip beneath it and come back up. Because there's like only a few people looking to buy the lows instead of dozens of institutions during a trading window looking to accumulate that position. So that's the main difference. Main difference. Very dumb statement. This guy does not see the value of the blockchain, and for this statement, he paid $10 WTF, dude. It's not that you don't see value in the blockchain. The blockchain is extraordinarily valuable. Saying that the market is in a downtrend is not saying anything about the blockchain. I think if you understand the blockchain, you can see how extraordinarily useful it will be, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go up forever. That doesn't mean that trading principles don't apply, because they apply in all markets that are traded. Can you explain how you personally read charts? Like, which indicators do you use? But as you can see, I have very bland charts. I don't even have moving averages on here, and I've been thinking about putting them back for quite some time, but I just haven't yet. The price and the volume is really all I use. I'll occasionally throw up an RSI. I've got RSI here, if that will pop up eventually. Yeah, so I've got RSI here, which I don't know if they use purples or color, it's horrible. I do use RSI sometimes on some short-term time frame trades, but I mean, I generally just do price and volume, because any indicator is reverse looking. It's not, there's no forward looking indicator. The only thing that looks forward is your brain, and your brain is informed by the chart action, and the volume and the price. So that's kind of how I trade. How about the Tether news? That could be very interesting. And if Bitfinex is gonna have some weird problems, then I think you're gonna see Binance really take over. Unfortunately, Bittrex too, but I hate Bittrex. All right. Okay, so Vincent was an American onion trader, best known for manipulating the onion futures market. There's a lot of people try to manipulate markets. Bitcoin being supported, resisted by the 50-day SMA right now. Sorry, or can't check. I don't have a 50-day SMA. Let's throw up an SMA. Why do I hate Bittrex? Smooth moving average. I hate Bittrex because they don't answer their support tickets. That's why I hate Bittrex. They do not answer the support tickets. I get emails. I've got a few videos on this topic. I get emails from people every single day. Whoa, thank you again, buddy. Greatly appreciate that. For good content, tip for the good content. Thank you. It is good content. I love the blockchain. I own BTC long-term since 2013. I also own U.S. international blue chip stocks, physical gold, real estate. Keep plenty of cash in case of crashing any asset class. Okay, don't call this guy an idiot ever again. Actually, I think what he's trying to do is he wants you guys to read this. I think he wants you guys to understand it. Yeah, I see what he's doing here. So thank you for the tip. I greatly appreciate it. Good diversification. Definitely good diversification. And yeah, cash for crashes. That's the way it goes. But yeah, so that's why I don't like Bittrex, is because they do not support their community. Their platform's laggy. I don't view it good. I don't view it good at all. I have gotten dozens and dozens and dozens of communications, emails, comments about people that have been locked out for months, locked out of their accounts for months. So that's the reason I don't like them. So Ash Jones says Bittrex answered my tip in less than 24 hours and retrieved XLM deposited without using the memo tag. That's awesome. You know, I don't doubt that they do good things for some people, but they should do better things for more people. That's all I gotta say. I had a guy that put a comment, and I don't know if it's true or not, but he said he had 200,000 stuck that he couldn't get out of Bittrex. I've got other people that say something similar with not such egregious amounts, but it is I just think the fact that they don't support their people just really pisses me off, because I have to hear that stuff from people, and I can't do anything about it. So I do like Bittrex. I'm sorry, Binance. I do like Binance. I think Binance is pretty good. They do have their performance issues, but you know, I'll give them a pass on that. Even GDAX crashes. When I sold Bitcoin at 19,000, I didn't even know I got filled on GDAX for like 10 minutes. I didn't even know I got filled. I put an order in, I hit click, it went there, it said pending, and then I'm like looking at it, and it just said pending, and then everything froze, and I'm like, what just happened? And I'm like, oh crap, they froze, and just kept refreshing, and nothing happened. And then finally it came in and I got filled. And I'm like, oh yes, But by that time, Bitcoin was at like 17,000, and yeah, luckiest trade of my life, just from that perspective. But that's the reason why I'm not a big fan of Bittrex. They do not support their people. They close their Slack chat room. Um, they just close their Slack chat room. I just don't like it. I don't like when you just um, abandon people that have given you thousands of dollars to be in price to be in charge of. I think that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. All right. So looking at Bitcoin, I got a 6-hour chart. That's not very fun. Not very fun at all here. Rich, I'm about to buy and drive the price down. Okay, guys. Thanks, Richie. There you go. Drive the price down. Could be. You never know. Had a nice little bull run up towards these. So we could have had resistance here. Could have had resistance here. Looks like this low over here was resistant over here. Now we're drifting lower. We have a nice little topping candle here. Definitely could be going lower at this point. I'm actually re-shorted up here. It's hard to say exactly. A correction is a 10% drop. Good question, Georgette. Do you see any indicators that the crypto market is disassociated from Bitcoin, or are we stuck in the mercy of Bitcoin fluctuations for the most part? For the most part, we're stuck with Bitcoin's fluctuations. The only coin right now that is really not stuck with Bitcoin's fluctuations is Ethereum. Although I will say that while Bitcoin drops, Ethereum will drop, but it is going to do its own thing after Bitcoin drops, after it's done. So once the selling is done and your retail investors are done, that's when your here we go. That's when your more professional investors are going to step in and just rise it back up. I wanted to address Georgette. So Georgette says the correction is 10% drop. So what you're talking about, Georgette, is simply a term. Right? You're simply talking about a term. What does a correction refer to? In the stock market, a correction would refer to a 15% drop in that asset, or the market overall, actually. A bear market would be a 20% or more drop in the market, okay? All right, so that's what would be considered in the stock market a correction in a bear market. Now, in cryptos, there's no, people use those same terms, but there's necessarily no, God, what am I thinking about? There's no consensus. There's no consensus. I had one guy leave a comment, and he said that, a bear market is when we're going down for 2 straight months. And I said to myself, I didn't comment back. I'm like, where'd you get that from? Going down for a time period, 2 straight months? What does that even mean, 2 straight months? Going down for 2 straight doesn't make any sense to me. So if you think about it in terms of the stock market, I'm kind of giving cryptos like a 2x in terms of volatility. So I would say a correction in cryptocurrencies, for lack of any kind of general consensus from the world, I would say a 25% correction would be a 25% drawdown would be a correction, and I would think anything over 40% would be considered a bear market. Just kind of. I actually did short it. Crypto says he just shorted Bitcoin again as we were speaking. I can feel it. I did short it. I did short it. I think I mentioned I was going to short it, and then I shorted it a little bit later. So I think about a 20 to 25% would probably be a correction in crypto, and then anything over about a 40% would probably be a bear market in my mind. But that's just kind of how I view that. So Victor, if you want to contact me, you can go to my page. Just click on the real crypto name underneath the video. Then go to my page and send me a private comment with your email address. I'll get in contact with you. Oh, Strata. I gotta address Strata's comment. Volume has quieted down for Bitcoin on the minute chart. I have a trigger ready as soon as it shows signs of breaking down again. I think it's highly probable. That was a bit ago. You probably shorted it when I did. He just shorted Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin has a 40% drop every 2 to 3 months. Please, what are you talking about? Bitcoin is the bull market since 2 years. It's nothing more than a correction. All right, Michael, let's go to chart school. Let's go to chart school. Everyone ready for chart school? Everyone ready for chart school? Everyone ready for charts? So, yeah, maybe 40% isn't the number. I don't know what the number is, okay? I really don't. Like I said, there's no consensus. There's no hard rule. The only thing that's hard and fast about markets is the price and the volume. Everything else is subjective. So you are correct. Actually, this was a 40% drop in Bitcoin at its lows. This was a 40% drop in Bitcoin at its lows. This was, I think, 25% drop, 33% drop, 30% drop there. And then at 11.5, which was the 1-day correction, the 1-day bear market, we went down 25%. So, maybe 40% is incorrect. Maybe that's true. Whatever the percentage is. So let's say 50% is bear market, because none of these corrected 50%. Let's just say that, right? So let's say anything over 30% is a correction. Anything over 50% is a bear market. Okay? There you go. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. Look at that. I adjusted my opinion based on Michael. Michael pointed out they've already gone down 40%. And you know what? He's right. Right here, you got these first two ones down 40%. So these are pullbacks. These are corrections. And so maybe 50% is what you want to call a bear market. But overall, a bear market means an overall downward trending market. So there you go. Bear market was from 2013 to 2015. Look at the chart. You are correct. I've said that about 8 million times. So, and I actually do talk about that. I talked about that earlier. I've got many videos on the 2013 bear market, Mike. You can feel free to go check it out. I just need to look at the chart. Well, I'll show it for other people, but I've done analysis on this chart time and time again. So this is a bear market, and actually I have probably 5 or 6 videos out there talking about this 2013 market and how it relates to the current market that we're in. So you can go ahead and go check out those videos. They're out there for everyone to watch, for everyone to learn from, and I've talked about this quite significantly. It took 2 years and 9 months for us to get back at all-time highs. And for a market like 2013, there's no reason it doesn't take another 2 years and 9 months for us to get back to 20,000. That's a possibility. You kind of have to go with what the market's telling you. And after such a huge parabolic run, and all of those videos regarding the 2013 regarding the 2013 top have been based on the fact that we had a huge parabolic move with a blow off top in Bitcoin. That's the overall synopsis to all of these videos. So Georgette is 107. You can probably see that on your screen there. It's 1:07 p.m. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Nice and warm outside today. The no winter in Phoenix. Any speculation on Binance Coin with Bitfinex news? I don't know. Let's look. I've got to get going here pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen. BBUSD. There we go. Huh. You would think something like BNB would go up based off of the Tether news, but not quite yet. Robert says, I6 as well. I've been holding since 1700. Are you holding long-term or shorting it? I don't have any long-term position in crypto coins based on the bear market position. I'm basically just trading it. I'm essentially just trading it at this point in time. And I'm super happy with what it's doing based on Bitcoin coming apart, but it's not doing too bad. I'm basically flat. I'm down a little bit in that position. Is this your full-time job? No, this is not my full-time job. I'm trying to make it my full-time job. I do like to teach. I do like to teach these things to people. I just love the markets, and I love charting, and I love teaching people and seeing when they actually, grasp a concept. That's something that I really enjoy. I'm trying to do this more and more. I'm trying to make this my full-time job. And the first part of that is doing this webinar that I'm doing regarding market cycles. I'm also putting a trading course together. I would like to do this full-time. I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to doing it full-time. I do have some side jobs that I'm doing, which I do have to do a little bit later today. But I've been doing this I've been trading for a long time. Pay for the webinar using crypto. Contact me directly for that. I don't have that automatically set up. It's just through PayPal right now, the payment process. So if you do want to do that, shoot me a message. So Georgette, what's long and short term for you? Great question. That's a great question. I'm long term for me would be probably a trade of several weeks. Would be a long term trade for me. Short term could be anything under several weeks. maybe the fact a couple, maybe a day or two, a couple of hours. It really depends. I basically go off the charts. In other words, if I have a hypothesis about a trade and I'm proven incorrect, I will exit that trade immediately once my hypothesis is proven incorrect. And I have rules based on that. Just like if I'm proven correct, I will stay in that trade until it shows topping signals. TRX is a scam. Everyone talks about scams. What is everybody with scams? Why does everyone think everything? The only thing that's a scam is BitConnect, because they want you to give you actual Bitcoin for, well, now nothing. But these are assets you can trade. None of these are scams. They're not scams. If you bet in an open market, it's not a scam. Interesting to look at correlations between prices and regulations on the chart, and then talk about potential future regulations. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you ever hold coins for longer than a day, and do you have holdings in US Tether? I do have holdings in US Tether, and yes, I definitely do hold coins for longer than a day. I held my Ethereum trade for like two or 3 weeks, something like that. I would love to hold for months, but that's not the market that we're in right now. This market right now, not holding for months. Not for me. That's not for me. Should I hold on to Coin? I don't know. We can look at Coin for a little bit. That's a tough one. It's down lower in this consolidation. You can hold it, but you're gonna be holding for a while. I think you're holding a lot of coins for a while, ladies and gentlemen. We're not running back up at all-time highs. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. I have part of this in the video as well. I talk about time. I talk about time in terms of market cycles, and time is very important. It's not just price level, ladies and gentlemen. It's time as well. So I would definitely try to catch that webinar if you want to learn more about kind of how time works with these cycles. But off of a big jump like this, for just to sizes and jump up again in a bear market is highly unlikely. Carl says, glad I got the live stream. Love your vids. Thank you very much, Carl. I appreciate that. Give a like, give it a subscribe, and if you like the vid, you're going to love the webinar. You're welcome, big fella. Not worried about your Tether holdings. I am a little worried about my Tether holdings, actually. I'm probably going to move most of my holdings into GDAX so I can put it in actual USD. Because there's really not much I'm interested in buying, so I'll keep my trading account in my Binance, and I'll probably move the rest of it over into the US dollar in GDAX. And I may move that to Coinbase, I don't know. Okay, when is the webinar? It's scheduled right now for Thursday in the evening, U.S. time, 7 Arizona time, which would make it 9 Eastern time, and I think 6 Pacific time. Do you think ETH will take a bigger dip anytime soon, like most crypto? So Ethereum right now is kind of trading on its own. GDAX, Ethereum is kind of trading on its own. Looks like we're getting some nice bottoming action here since we kind of bottomed in Bitcoin a little bit. But the fact that, Sorry, guys, this chart isn't not what I want. The fact that we broke this rising trend line, to me, I wouldn't be in Ethereum right now. This is for trade. I mean, I don't know where you people are in, but I wouldn't enter for a trade right here. The fact that it crossed the trend line to me says that we're headed low for a little bit. So Ethereum up 12% in the past 7 days, up 22 in the last 7 days. People are not into Bitcoin anymore, but stronger platforms are taking over. That is correct, HP. You know, the platform coins, you know, we're seeing a maturing market. We're seeing a maturing market. That's all I got to say about that. All right. What will the price be tomorrow? I don't know. 10,000 something, 9,000 something. Those are my guesses. How am I supposed to learn from you when you just got proven wrong about Bitcoin price? Don't know how I was proven wrong about Bitcoin price. But yeah, I don't know. You don't have to learn from me. Go learn from someone else. Date time estimate for the bottom. All right, we're gonna go with date time estimate. I'm gonna do August 35th at 1:26 UTC time. There you go. Has been great with technical analysis for months now. Tech does not guarantee the future. Why people can't figure this out, I don't know. It's simply a probabilities game, not a guarantee. Very good, Chris. Usually the people that kind of hate on me like that don't understand a lot, because their arguments aren't very well explained. That's the best. When I get a very well explained argument, I just kind of take it as a little bit of trolling. But if someone comes to me with actual like thought process behind saying that I'm wrong, I love that. That's like the best for me. I love to always challenge myself to being wrong. That's probably one of my most favorite things, to be quite honest with you. Will Bitcoin bounce back up to 11K? Yeah, it could. I mean, it could bounce back up to 11K. There's a possibility of that. 11K is not that far away. If we do get to 11K, let's go back onto the 2-hour chart. If we do get to 11K, so as you can see here, see this trend line right here? 11K is pretty close to that trend line. We could bounce up there. That's a possibility. Right now, it doesn't look likely, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. Okay, I'm going to step away from the computer. We're going to stop this live stream. You guys are going to go watch your live, and I don't know what's going to happen then. I have no idea, but we do have a little bit of a short-term bottom, but we could easily sell right back into that. We could easily go much, much lower. Most altcoins are scam. A says, I think most altcoins are going to go to zero eventually. I think it's a lot of just pump and dump stuff. I think a lot of ICOs are pump and dump. That's like the model, right? Like if you want to make a bunch of money, why won't you write a blockchain ICO, get 100 million, and then walk away? Just walk away. Thoughts on new ICOs coming? I think Neo's great. I think all those larger platform coins, once when you start to see these ICOs on them with actual functional blockchains, hey man, the guys first market win. That's every market. That's business. That is business. And crypto is a business. And the businesses that win are the first ones with a working product. Where's Tether technical analysis? I guess we could Tether technical. We can TA a sideways chart. Why not? Let's go Tether sideways chart 988888. Do you pay taxes on your crypto trade? Of course I do. Everyone has to pay taxes. I don't want the government to come knocking. Thanks for the videos. When, where are webinars? So the webinars will be I'll announce them on my videos, but if you go to my website, build-crypto.com, I'm trying to make that much more valuable now, and I do have a link to my webinar up there. I only have one as of right now. I'm working on making some trading courses, but the webinars are meant to be more interactive, where Versus where, a trading course is something that just kind of sits there in perpetuity. The webinars are an opportunity where you have, webinars are an opportunity where you have an opportunity to ask me your questions about the topic and get them answered, because every time I've done a trading course, it's always difficult to get those questions answered, and I don't want that to be the case. So, so TA on Tether. Looks like we're stuck in a range between 98 cents and $1. All right. Going down a little bit here. Going down a little bit. Exchange have that as an option. What is Tether? What is Tether? So Tether is a blockchain. It is another cryptocurrency like any other cryptocurrency. But their claim to fame is that for every Tether they issue, they back it with a single dollar. So in theory, Tether should never vary from $1, or very, very infrequently. Okay, very, very, and it should always come back to its mean, which is $1. So that's what Tether is. It is basically your cash position for cryptocurrencies. In case Bitcoin is going down, you would move into Tether, because Tether should always be $1. What do you think about the impact of media news on the crypto market? More context. News is usually not news, more or less planned. So I don't care about news. The only time I care about news is when IOTA came out. So this is news to me. Okay, news is when IOTA comes out and says, "Hey, we're working with Microsoft to make an IoT ecosystem." Boom, the coin shoots up. That is a great news story. That is something actionable, fundamental to the coin. Also, when EOS said, "Oh, we're going to come out with 1100 dApps so when we go live," boom, EOS jumps because it is fundamental to the coin. Everything else is garbage. Everything else is garbage. Technical analysis is not going to be that effective in crypto when 90% of the funds are held by 1% of the people that will work better when the cap is higher. Technical analysis is just analysis, and working is based on how you read the market and how you react to the market. So technical analysis always works. It's how you treat it that determines success. Okay. I don't want to talk about individual coins, to be quite frank to you. If XRP, is it right time to sell and buy ETH? I don't know. ETH looks like it's just breaking down. XRP looks like it's going sideways. It's kind of in a sideways market. It looks like we're starting to trend down because Bitcoin's falling a little bit more here. Guys, we're in a bear market. Everything's going to be going down. You want to jump from one thing going down to another thing going down to another thing going down. I mean, you tell me. This is exactly like the dot-com bubble. There will be a handful of winners at most, like Amazon. Unfortunately, 99% of the other coins are just a scam that have this FOMO dragging it. I like you, Krupp. Hang around, buddy. Hang around. Hang around. Would you say most altcoins might drop about 50% from today's price during this bear market without a reasonable estimate? That's a very broad statement. All I'm saying is that we're in a bear market. Things are more likely to go lower. And if Bitcoin drops, then more likely altcoins are dropped as well. Now you're gonna have these altcoins that have really good news that are gonna jump, and that's great. That's fantastic. But what you see in a lot of these altcoins, so let me do this. Let me go. Keep in mind, we've been in a bear market. We've been in a bear market since like December 28th or something. Let's do this. Let me go to Binance real quick. So we've been in a. So this was this top was a couple weeks after the Bitcoin top. Bear market. Bear market. Bear market. Maybe correction. CND correcting here. CDR definitely bear market. We're way low. You can do this time and time again. We're going lower. We're going lower. So it's hard to say exactly, how deep they're going to go. You just have to wait for the bottoms. You have to wait for good action. Do you only trade long trades, or I'm sorry, do you only trade long trades, or your go in corrections to buy short? Yes, I'm actually short Bitcoin right now. I'm short Bitcoin right now. I don't usually short other things. I actually just short Bitcoin today for the first time ever. And I know how to short, and I'm kind of pissed I didn't short it from higher levels. Why is it hard to see into Ethereum? I don't know what you mean, George. Into Ethereum. What's Brad asked me a question? Oh, there you are. Who is going to try to catch the falling knife? Yeah, hopefully not one of my followers. Hopefully not someone that listens to my channel. That's all I gotta say. Also, it's very, very easy to test your technical analysis of positive crypto markets compared to other markets. You're saying it is very, very asking, is it better or easier? Oh, is it hard to sell into Ethereum? I don't know why. I think a lot of these exchanges need to start trading more Ethereum pairs, to be quite frank with you. Oh, you're telling chat. There you go. Thanks, Rada. What can we invest in now that crypto is correcting? Which asset? Fiat currency. Fiat currency. Been in bear since futures controlled by Bitcoin by shorting? Maybe. Could be possible. Could be possible. I'm not sure if South Korea is trade today. What do you think about using Elliott wave and fib levels as TA probability rules? How do you believe in 5 steps, ABC ways, and how to look at everything? So Jonathan, I'm not a big fan of Elliott waves. I think fibs are I think fibs are okay. A lot of people follow fibs, which is why they work. Also, fibs. There's something weird about fib. Like it's they give you levels, but they're not like solid levels. I don't know. It's weird. But a lot of people follow Fibonacci's, which is why they work. Elliott waves are extraordinarily subjective. You're literally just drawing lines on charts at random points. It seems like you're trying to make the chart fit your Elliott wave, if that makes sense. So you're trying to forecast. It's, I don't know, like round peg square hole type of a thing. I see a bull flag on a 1 week. You care to pull that up? Sure. On Bitcoin, I'm assuming you're saying. So weekly is really long term in Bitcoin. And I have heard the bear flag argument. So all I gotta say is that yeah, it's not a bull flag. Bull flags don't come down 50+%. Okay, they just don't. Bull flags don't come down 50%. Yeah, they just don't come down 50%. So it is a channel of sorts, but it is not a bull flag. So I pulled it up there. I'm not a fan of that. I don't view that as valid. Let's go to the 5 minute. Rolling over a little bit. How to short BTC? How to short BTC? If you're new to trading, don't ever short. It's so difficult to short. In a bear market, it's easier. But if you haven't been trading a long time, just don't short, please. It's very, very volatile. Bitcoin has huge price upswings. You can get hurt very badly shorting. You can short using BitMEX. That's a way you can short if you're in the US. But yeah, I really don't like telling people short. Is Bitcoin bouncing from 7 to 8K? New all-time highs appear likely to you? No. Why the bright altcoin are first listed on small exchanges? The large exchanges actually typically don't like to jump into things like that. They don't like to jump in. Yeah, we're watching a break 10K right here, short 10-1. Hey, Real Crypto, feel free to answer my question. You feel it on your privacy. I was wondering, what are your credentials? You have experience as a trader. I've been trading stocks for 15 years. Trading cryptos. I traded Bitcoin in 2013, got like 300% out of it. It was pretty awesome. Lost track of it. Kind of kicked myself because I lost track of it. And I've been trading again since August. But those are my credentials. 15 years in the stock market. Very good with charts and technical analysis. In general trading knowledge. Pretty good performance. I myself have my own trading demons I fight through every day. But from the knowledge side, I think I'm really good. Okay, you've been most reasonable on YouTube, by the way. Thanks. You have a rough estimate on how long the bear market may last. My gut feel says it lasts a long time, months, maybe years. The last cryptocurrency bear market took 2 years and 9 months to get back to all-time highs. 2 years and 9 months to get back to all-time highs. It may take 2 years and 9 months to get back to all-time highs. I don't know exactly. If the U.S. stock market corrects, do you think crypto will follow? Well, crypto's been following or leading, depending on what you want to put it. So what is it? We got 30 minutes. Let me look at my stocks. What are they doing? Not doing. They're doing better than they were this morning. Still have a lot of red in the stocks. Trying to keep most of my gains in stocks. My Roth IRAs, gangbusters. Okay, Brooks and K. What do you look for specifically to determine bottoms? I look at price and volume action. I look for lack of selling, and I look for accumulation to rebuy. So just because a bottom is in doesn't mean I will purchase. I will buy upon the next upward trending market. T-Rex fans are happy seeing kind of moon moves first time for all times time. I don't know what that means. What do you think about the S&P gone up like crazy? I think it's fantastic. I'm up massively in my Roth IRA, which is where I trade in the stock market, and I love it. And I'm hoping it doesn't correct a lot more because I'd like to keep my gains. I would like to keep my gains. Do I have KuCoin? No. I do have a KuCoin account. I haven't traded it yet, though. If you start trading, don't trade cryptos. Start with Forex. I hate Forex. Not a fan of Forex. Fan Binance are insane now. The usual ROI per month. Well, I don't view it in that fashion. I don't really base it per month. I mean, we've been in a bear market, so my ROI has been negative for the bear market, actually. Yeah, like I said, I got my own trading demons, but I don't have a per month ROI. It really varies with the market. My ROI is going to vary with the market like everyone else's account will. What do I trade in my Roth IRA? I trade options, actually, in my Roth IRA. I buy options in my Roth. How do you store your cryptos? I do have hardware, not hardware wallets. I do have paper wallets that I store crypto on, sitting into my board over here, and in a couple other locations. That's how I store my cryptos. Early indicators of a bullish market. The opposite of what you're seeing now. The opposite of what you're seeing now. Do you use TradingView to help determine buy or sell? TradingView is just a charting platform. I don't really use them for anything other than just charts. But lately, I've just migrated to Coinigy. I really like the platform better. I have alerts I can set up. I really think it's good. Yeah, I really think it's good. So I use Coinigy. If you're not familiar with Coinigy, I actually have a link in the description. If you want to check that out, that'll support the channel. If you want to join, it is a paid platform. You get, like, I think 30 days for free, and then it's $100 for 6 months or something like that. So that's fine. Bottom finder study and TradingView. No, I have not. Didn't know they had that. I'd be interested to see how that fails. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, been going for quite a long time here. I'm going to step out. Thank you very much for joining me. please sign up for my webinar. I'd greatly appreciate it. Go to real-crypto.com. Check that out. There's a link in the top. If you have any issues signing up, please go ahead and shoot me an email, randy@real-crypto.com. And there you go. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to get out of here. Any last-minute questions before I go? Litecoin and Monero making a baby would be extremely cute. Follow, extremely cute. Is the 10K support just weak support? Looks like it. Looks like it's pretty weak right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining. I will see you next time.